What's up, family? It is Caden with Urban Finance. We have a new Black American billionaire joining David Stewart, Robert Smith, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, and Kanye West. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about why it matters that we have a new Black billionaire, as well as how Tyler Perry, yes, Tyler Perry is the new billionaire, how he made his $1 billion. So a complete breakdown of that. If you're new to this channel, I talk about everything related to financial knowledge, economic empowerment, and urban finance. And if I'm being honest, urban finance is whatever I feel like talking about. If you haven't already, please smash the like button so YouTube shares this video far and wide. Subscribe to the page and hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. All right, let's jump in. So Forbes reported this week that Tyler Perry is the newest member of the Billionaire Club. I can't wait till I'm able to join this prestigious club. Who's coming with me? All right, this is about Tyler, not about me and you. All right, let's jump in. So here's the breakdown of how Tyler Perry made his first $1 billion. And so first 300 million of it has to do with cash and investments. About 40 million of it is his ownership stake in BET. About $280 million of it is his 330 acres of land, so that's his studio. About 320 million of it is his content library, and about 40 million of it is his homes and his toy. You know, a man gotta have his toys. So this is so important for the culture because Tyler Perry made most of his money not from necessarily being an actor, which is fine, but he made the money from being an entrepreneur and being an owner. And that's one of the things that I really like about Tyler Perry is that from the beginning, he knew that ownership would lead him into the multi-million-dollar category. I don't know if he had a vision that he would become a billionaire, but he probably knew that if he was to become a billionaire, ownership is the thing that will get him there. And I think this sets a precedence for everyone that is coming up after Tyler Perry in any industry to know that if you want to become a billionaire, you have to own something. And I'm speaking to all of the rappers out there. I'm speaking to all the basketball players, and I'm speaking to all the young entrepreneurs that want to start a business. Ownership is the way to get you into the multi-million-dollar category, and ownership is the way you will get into the billionaire category. We know Kanye made most of his billion from his brand Yeezy. And so whatever you do, whatever creative idea you have, make sure you keep an ownership stake in that. And so I love the fact that Tyler Perry is laying out a template for everyone that comes after him of how to become a billionaire. And I notice I didn't say a Black billionaire. I think this is a template of how to become a billionaire. What I really love about the billion that Tyler made is that he made it from pretty much promoting his material to a very exclusively Black audience. And what that means for me, that it is okay to have a niche and that you can still become a billionaire by creating a niche for yourself. The only thing, you have to make content that people like, whether that's on YouTube and whether that's rapping. And so Tyler Perry has gained a lot of criticism, to be honest, for the Madea movies from the Black communities because they don't like some of the characterizations on it. And to be honest, if Tyler Perry did not make the Madea movies, he probably will not be as successful as he is today, because he made movies that people would watch and he made movies that people would like. And that's the problem, one of the problems with the Black community. And I'm not picking a side in this debate, but it's either you put out and produce content that people will actually watch, or you produce content that is still high quality, but a lot of times people don't support the type of content that they say that they want. It's kind of like a lot of people talk about wanting to be fit and go to the gym and exercise, but most people would rather and do just come home, order out, sit down and watch Netflix on the TV. And so there is a discrepancy, and this is not a Black community thing, this is just a general thing. There's a discrepancy in what people know is right and what people should do and what people actually do. And we see another example of this in the recent video of WAP that had 169 million views just on one YouTube video, and other videos are up there in the hundreds of millions of views. And so many people are consuming this content, but I would be hard pressed to find any financial literacy channel on YouTube, especially a black financial literacy channel that has 100 million views plus on one video. And the thing is, especially in the black community, there's always going to have to be this balance of giving people a bit about what they want and a little bit of what they need. And so I think if Cardi B now was to come out with a video talking about personal finance, it will get a lot more views than the average YouTuber because she's someone that created something that people actually wanted, and now she's giving them something that people need. That's just my theory. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with that theory that sometimes, unfortunately, especially in the black community, you have to give people a little bit of what they want in order to be in a position to give them what they need? And I think Tyler Perry positioned himself perfectly to be able to do that. Now that he has made his Madea movies and amassed a serious amount of wealth, he can probably go on to more passion projects. And I personally believe this is one of the reasons why Tyler Perry ended the Madea series, because he knows now that, okay, now that I have established myself, I can create more serious content because people are going to watch my stuff just based on my name. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that's a struggle? And I think that's beyond the black community. I think that's any community. Let me know if you think it's a necessary evil to give people a little bit of what they want while trying to give them what you believe that they actually need. I recently read the book The Well Choice by Dennis Kimbro, and in one of the chapters he talks about Tyler Perry's story. I believe Tyler Perry did an event for exclusive audience in Atlanta, and I'm gonna read the section of the book because I found it to be very inspiring, and as someone that planned to accumulate a serious amount of wealth and enter into the seven-figure category, I think knowing and reading these stories is so important. So I'm gonna read this story for you about Tyler Perry. The son of a carpenter, Tyler Perry grew up poor, as he told me and an invitation-only audience at Atlanta, Georgia's Fox Theater. His father worked his entire life paying $160 a month for 30 years for a tiny house in a tough section of New Orleans. Witnessing his father pay a mortgage on the cramped space he shared with his wife and 4 children, while others sold the houses he built for far more than the elder Perry had earned, at a young age, Perry vowed that entrepreneurship held the key to his future and that he would be the owner. The key to longevity and building generational wealth, a principle he hopes other African Americans will embrace, is ownership of the finished product. But there were challenges. His father's hammer and saw soon gave way to alcohol and guilt before he took his frustration out on his son. This abusive environment left Perry confused, angry, and without anyone to lean on. Where I come from, he continued, you can have your dream, but you got to keep it private because others will try their best to suppress it and snuff it out. That was the mentality of my surroundings. Not knowing which way to turn, a friend suggested that he accompany him on a trip to Atlanta. This engaged in Southern City offered Perry the only quality he needed most: hope. The city, prominent black middle and upper class, raised Perry's level of vision. This was the environment that he sought. After my first visit, I just knew I was in the promised land. I had never seen so many black people doing so well. I felt as if I were home, finally in his element. Perry returned to New Orleans, packed his bags, and moved to Georgia in 1990. He was 21 years old. Seeking a fresh start, Perry began chronicling the events of his life. 2 years later, and again with the encouragement of friends and $12,000 every dime to his name, those writings became the first stage play, I Know I've Been Changed. Full of hope that he had finally turned the corner, Perry was devastated and broke when only 30 people attended the show. This setback marked a 6-year period in which he moved from one job to the next, from bill collector to used car salesman, among others, barely keeping his head above water and saving enough to stage one play each year, all of which failed. Finally, having been evicted from his apartment, he hawked his furniture to eat and was living in his car. And this is from homeless to a billionaire. By 1998, Perry was prepared to throw in the towel, but first he decided to stage one final show at Atlanta's House of Blues, the centerpiece of the city's theater district. However, this time his approach was different. He selected choir members and pastors from the city's most well-known black churches as his cast members. On the freezing opening night, with little to no heat in the theater and fearing that he had wasted his life, Perry looked out the window and saw a line stretching around the corner. He sold out 8 nights at the House of Blues and another 2 at the 4,500-seat Fox Theater. He realized he had found his audience. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? I mean, this story really did. The first time I read Tyler Perry's story in this fashion, it absolutely motivated me to see, even now that he has entered the billionaire category, and to see someone go from homeless, living in his car, to being a billionaire by just chasing his dreams. And despite the fact that it did not work out for him several times, he kept moving forward because he believed in his idea and he believed in his vision. And so this is inspiration to you. This is inspiration to me. No matter how dark the times may seem, if you believe you have a good idea and that it will add value to your community, make sure you continue to change it, because you too, just like Tyler Perry, can become a billionaire one day. Now, right now, I am focused on earning my first million, but after I earn my first million, I'll probably go on to my first 10 million and then my first 100 million. And then after that, and set my eyes into joining Tyler Perry in the billionaire category. Well, I hope you felt inspired by watching this video. I know Tyler Perry's story certainly inspires me, and I love hearing about these type of stories. These are the type of the stories that I plan to share with my son even before he can even understand it, because I need him to also see himself, not that he has to pursue making $1 billion, but to see himself as someone that can be a visionary and produce $1 billion ideas. And when you see someone that looks like you that have done it, it inspires you and motivates you to be able to do it as well. Okay, family, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please smash the like button, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. I just gotta say it one more time. Won't he do it? All right. Even in the midst of these crazy times, make sure you're living your best life.